Alright guys, here's another little, guitar setup refurbish video. Yeah, and this guitar right here is a Tradition Stratocaster type guitar. Tradition guitars are, really quality guitars for as far as I know with this guitar right here. At some point they were based in Texas. I can't remember if they moved or relocated, but Texas is the last point that I know where they came up with the whole idea and creating great sounding guitars and instruments. This particular guitar right here, as I said, is a Fender type guitar. It's from it's from '99. So it has quite a few years on its back, but it's in excellent condition. It has a few dings here and there, given that it's been played. And this right here is basically my first real guitar, real decent guitar, and it has basically never been set up. And I've had it since, I don't know, 2005, 6. Something, maybe even 2004, and I played this, a huge amount. If we go back, 5 or 6 years, this was my main gigging guitar, and I basically just adapted to playing this guitar because it hadn't, the neck had not been, adjusted. The string height was just as I got it. I just, changed the strings and basically that was it. So I just took it and, touch and go. That was basically it. And I just feel that right now it's time to, do something about that. So we're going to go through the whole piece here, and we're going to do, a couple of different things. Basically, right now, I want to take a look at cleaning the guitar a little at first, because this pick guard right here is quite, dirty, and the pickups need a little bit of cleanup too, and might take the saddles off here and clean underneath, take the pots off and clean underneath as well, and just, polish this up. We will basically, I'll do the same thing with the fretboard, because as you can already see here, it has a lot of dirt and grime here. And I just decided that I'm going to clean this fretboard up as the first thing, because I want to, have a clean and nice fretboard that I can measure the neck relief on. So we're going to do that as well. Given that this guitar has never been, properly set up, I don't really know if the nut is any good. We will basically, have to take a look at that as well. I've never really had any problems playing this guitar, and I remember that I measured the action once and it was quite low, but I had it playing without any buzzing. But we'll have to take a look at that when I get everything set up. And we might, just make a new nut. I, suspect that this right here is just, piece of plastic. At least nothing fancy as far as I can tell. Yeah, but we're going to do, the whole 9 yards here and, get this ready. So I'll start by, cleaning up the fretboard here, and I'm going to bring you guys in so you can see what I'm doing and how I clean the fretboard. So we're going to clean it, and once we get it clean, we're going to oil it in order to, bring some life into the wood again, because it's been quite a while since I oiled it last time. And then I'm going to, just let that soak right in with, a proper amount of lemon oil. And then I'm going to let it settle overnight, and we can come back tomorrow and take a look at what's happening. So yeah, let me reposition the camera, guys, and I will be back. Okay guys, so basically what I like to do when I have to clean up, the fretboard, in order to, when it's real dirty, like this one here, if it's just, you know, if you're cleaning the fretboard in between changing strings and you know, change your string, you change them out regularly, then you should be able to, you know, just use something like the Dunlop, you know, fretboard cleaning types of fluids, and you can basically just put it on or spray it on, you know, a clean cloth and just gently wipe it out. I do that on, you know, most guitars when they aren't, you know, totally grimed up here. But when we have this much, you know, material or grime from playing over a long period of time with the same, you know, old strings, I like to take a razor blade here, basically a brand new razor blade, making sure that it's nice and sharp, and we're going to use that to basically gently scrape off any, you know, dirt and grime. And I like to just take my fingers on each side, gently place it, you know, at a bit of an angle here, and then just slide it back and forth. I guess you can, you know, take it and rock it back and forth that way too, but at least to begin with, I like to just, you know, scrape it forward and just see what the blade does, because you don't want to dig in too much to the fretboard. And you should basically be able to see that the blade is starting to, you know, peel off some of that nasty grime and, you know, dead skin cells from your hands playing, and yeah. So you should basically be able to see that right there. All that, you know, build up of grime right there. And I can feel it on the fretboard, it's much more smoother, it's not rugged and, you know, filthy. So we will basically, you know, I will do the same thing for the second fret here, you know, just going forward. And just taking it, you know, just taking it slow, not using too much pressure or anything. Just want to, you know, let the blade do the work here. And when I've done a couple of frets, I will take my vacuum cleaner and basically, you know, vacuum off the big piles here in order to, you know, get a closer look and maybe also see if I've missed any spots. It's just you know, a little nice way to make sure that you got everything out of it. So yeah, this is basically, you know, what I will do when I have quite a dirty fretboard. So yeah, nice sharp razor blade and placing it on, scraping gently, and, you know, there's nothing more to it than that. Clean it off once in a while, watch your progress, and yeah, take it slow. You don't want to rush it and, you know, take out chunks of your fretboard or anything like that. So I'm going to vacuum off this and continue down. When I'm ready to oil the fretboard, we're going to take a look at it. So I will bring in for that, guys, and, you know, stay tuned for it. Alright guys, I have now gone over all of the fretboard with the razor blade, and, you know, just taken out all of the grime that was on the fretboard. So if I zoom in here, you can clearly see, you know, a difference from before. It looks really, really nice, and, you know, I can also feel it on, you know, on the fretboard. There's no more stickiness, and it feels nice. So now I want to, you know, introduce you to a couple of things that I basically use for treating, you know, instruments. And these are all, you know, products by Dunlop, and it's just a coincidence. It was just what was, you know, available at my local guitar store. So I just bought those to try them out and see, you know, and these bottles go a long way. I believe I've had those for a couple of years now, and they are, you know, above half full. So, you know, but also a little goes a long way, so you know, have to balance that out. But right in front here we have the Dunlop 65 Ultimate Lemon Oil, and this is basically what we're going to, you know, treat the fretboard with here in order to, you know, give it some life and, you know, just get it in a good condition. And this is, you know, this is basically great stuff. And you know, it has its own applicator here inside that we can basically just flip it around and put it on the frets and, you know, dab it on, and we can use, you know, a rag or a cloth to wipe it in and wipe off the excess. So this is a great, you know, addition to treating fretboards. Then we have this right here, which is the cleaner and prep from Dunlop, and you know, this is what I use on basically fretboards where, as I said, the strings have been changed often, and I can just, you know, buff it out with the, you know, the cleaner here. But I might take this and go over the fretboard just to, you know, get the remaining stuff out. And lastly here I have some, you know, guitar polish, also by Dunlop here, and it's basically just for polishing up the guitar, the scratch plate, the finish, yeah, headstock, stuff like that. And it's great for it to, it brings out, you know, a nice shine, and it takes off grime quite, you know, quite easy. So right now I will, as I said, I will take this, you know, the cleaner here, and I will pump it onto a rag and basically just, you know, rub it in here and take a look at, you know, the stuff that I've missed. So let me get a rag, guys, and, you know, you can have a look at what I'm doing. Alright, so basically what I'm doing here, I'll take the cleaner and prep, I will shake it a little bit, and I will, you know, spray it onto this rag right here. You never want to spray it directly onto any finish or any fretboard, because you don't want to, you know, spray out a lot. So take it and shake it and spray a little bit on the cloth here, and we can basically, you know, take it around and just basically rub it in here and see what comes off. So sorry if the camera is shaking a little bit, but yeah, that's just the way. And you can see here quite a bit of, you know, dust and grime and dirt, and basically just want to take this and go over each fret just, you know, lightly to take out any of the grime, because it's just going to clean it up much better, and it's just going to, you know, allow the lemon oil to sink in better. Yeah, so there you have it. It's a good idea to go over it, you know, and check if you got everything out the first time. But I'm just, you know, I'm going to continue with this. Just, you know, rub it in a little bit, and when I'm done with that, you can basically, you know, go in and apply the lemon oil over here. So I will be back, guys, and stay tuned for it. Alright, guys, I've just, you know, finished rubbing out the you know, the cleaner, and as I showed you before, it just goes to show that how much is still, you know, left on the fretboard, dust and, you know, particles. So it's always nice to, you know, have a little cleaner like that and just go over it one more time, and it feels nice and smooth now, the fretboard. But it looks a bit, you know, dry and, yeah, a little bit too dull, I think. But luckily the lemon oil right here is going to, you know, make up for that. So I have a piece of a clean cloth here, and we're just going to use the, you know, applicator in here on the frets, and I like to, you know, do maybe 4 or 5 frets at a time and then, you know, rub it in. So we're going to do it like this, Then we're going to take the cloth here and make sure we get it all over the fretboard. We just want to make sure that we rub it in all over evenly. And you know, when we have everything applied, we're gonna let it settle, and I can always, you know, come back and apply it a second time if I believe it needs that. So right now you can clearly see a difference here from the 5 frets and, you know, the ones remaining. So it's basically just to keep at it like this, and keep, you know, getting all of the lemon oil nicely applied, and it will, you know, it will basically do a lot for the fretboard. It will keep it nice and conditioned, and yeah, it's just going to, you know, give it some oils and, you know, basically what it's been craving for, just sitting. So we can just go in and take out the excess. Sorry for the shaky cam again, but that's just how it is when I have it set up on my bench here. Okay, but clearly you can still see the difference. So let me just whack on with this, guys, and, you know, bring you in when we have our end result here. Okay, here. So guys, I have basically just, you know, finished applying this lemon oil, the first, you know, coat, and the wood looks nice and it feels nice. So as I said, I'm going to leave it overnight here and come back tomorrow and see what we have, and, you know, decide if I'm going to apply another coat. But let me just take you in here so you can take, you know, get a better look at the fretboard. You can just see here, it looks really nice. Take it in here. Yeah, it is, you know, nicely seated, and, you know, the lemon oil has gone into the fretboard, and that is basically good. So everything is fine there. Yeah. So come back tomorrow and see how it goes, and we'll basically take a look at it from there and see what happens. So yeah, stay tuned for that, guys, and thanks for watching. I appreciate it. So but I'll see you soon and bring you in so we can, you know, get this guitar ready for some more playing. Okay, guys, I'll cut it here. I'll see you soon. Have a good one.